When, for example, you get sued or you get into some kind of legal battle, the extent of your liability in that situation will be limited to the business. Hey friends, welcome to Homestaging Business. My name is Joke. Today, I'm going to be answering the question, how do you register your business? Do you go for LLC, which is Limited Liability Company, or do you go for a sole proprietorship? Those are options for you when you start your homestaging business. I'm going to be answering that question today. So when I got started, I actually registered my business as a sole proprietorship because I didn't know any better. And then I think it was a year down the line that I switched to LLC. And I'll tell you why. Let me just start this by saying I'm not giving you legal advice or financial advice. This is just based on my own opinion of what has worked and the information that's out there. You can look it up for yourself. I encourage you to do your own research, but based on just the meaning of both, I will tell you the difference and why it's important for you to have an LLC versus a sole proprietorship as your business entity. Okay, let's get into it. So number one is that, as the name implies, LLC, Limited Liability Company. That sums it up because it separates your business as a separate entity from you as a person, while a sole proprietorship is you and the business are one and the same. Why is this a problem? Okay, so an LLC limits your liability based on the name again. When, for example, you get sued or you get into some kind of legal battle, the extent of your liability in that situation will be limited to the business, which means if you owe money or somebody is coming after you and suing you for something, they can only get as much as the business has. Your personal assets will be untouched, will be safe. So it is a safety net for you to have a limited liability company which completely separates your business from your personal assets. So that is the big thing. And then there are so many other little things that it does for you as well, but that is the major one. Because if you're going to open a bank account for your business, for example, you will need an LLC, you will need an EIN, which is Employer Identification. So that, in a nutshell, is the reason why I would highly recommend having an LLC over a sole proprietorship. And when you think about how you register that, you don't need to pay anyone. I know there are all kinds of agencies and companies and people who will say, I'll file your business for you. You can file it by yourself. If you go to the Secretary of State for your state, each state has them where you can file an LLC. I think it's like $60, at least back in the day. Don't quote me. You can go look it up for yourself, but it was like $60. But you could go to a LegalZoom. Hey, shout out. I'm not hating on LegalZoom or anyone who provides these services. But when you start a business, most people are bootstrapping. At least I was. And I didn't have a whole boatload of money to pay to all kinds of services. And those are the kinds of things where you can do it yourself. Form is available on the website of the SOC. It's the same place that LegalZoom and everybody's going to go to. And you're just going to plug in all the information for yourself. So you can plug in the information in LegalZoom to give them all the information they need to file it on your behalf, and they will go and plug it into the SOC website. So why not just bypass the middleman and do it yourself and save money while you're doing so? Because you're going to need money, and when you're starting, you have more time than money. So that I will invest my time in doing those little things for myself, as long as you go through the direct agency that offers the service. I will highly recommend, while you're doing anything in the middle of it, you can get carried away, or you can get, you type in how do I, whatever, and then it will spill back a lot of, results to you. They'll be like, oh, I can help you find. It's like the Shark Tank, like everybody's coming for you and your money. But make sure that you're going to the government agency directly. Most of them will have a .gov at the back of them. That's what you're looking for. That's what you want to click on, and make sure that you're using that service directly and you're not using a third party, because they could be fishing for your money, they could be fishing for your information, and you can fall prey very, very easily without even knowing it. So that is my nugget advice for today when it comes to registering your business. And it is really important for you to do that if you want to set yourself apart as a true professional and a business owner. Because you could be winging it. When you have your business registered, there are so many things that happen. You will need to register a business, with whether you do sole proprietorship, whether you do LLC, it doesn't matter. It matters, but the point is register your business as a professional business entity, and that will open up a lot of opportunities. You will need to open up a bank account, and a bank account you will need, before you open up a bank account, you will need all of those documents for registration. And so it's important to get ahead of that. In future episodes, I'll be talking about all the other things that you need to do to get started.